Hello, Enzus here again with some more Dwarf Fortress, and we are again in my fortress Tobb. And this time around, the big project should be, or at least I'm going to try to make it, making my military defenses active, or more active than they are. I'm currently imagining 4 stages of defense, starting out with cage traps, then long corridors where they have to go roundabout, defended with ballistae that I'm going to install. Then they'll have to come here, to this corridor here, which I am going to make 1 floor lower, and that way on this upper floor I can have bolt throwers and crossbow dwarfs defending it. And then last, a melee arena, where dwarves in armor will fight whatever invaders are left after all of that. That is the current idea. I have no idea how realistic this is. Again, I should reiterate probably that these defenses only work because I'm playing on easy mode, which is, in my case, invaders cannot break constructed walls, dig natural walls, or build floors and stairs. Like, all of that is disabled. The only thing I have enabled from the new invader things is that they can free creatures from cages. Which essentially means if goblins, dwarves, or anything invades me, they can free themselves from cage traps, so I might as well just deactivate that by lifting up these bridges and lowering down these bridges. But before that, there have been some minor changes in my fortress. For one, I have realized that I had way too many cats and dogs in my fortress, which is why I have decided to enable Auto Butcher. You cannot see it right now, I believe, but at some point I had over 50 dogs in my fortress, and that was way too many. So yeah, I usually do something for a while without looking at my animals, and then they multiply so fast that at some point I'm just going to have lots and lots of them. And what then happens is something that's now happening here, because they're not done butchering all of the dogs and stuff. I guess now it's a water bowl, but yeah. And that is that my general food stockpile is overflowing, which means all the food or all the meat is still here, but it's not getting put anywhere, so it's going to rot, and that means that there's going to be miasma here. Which then obviously means I have to make sure that they're not standing too long in that. So I usually then have to essentially make sure that they dump it as soon as they can. Yeah. Second change is population has finally reached 80, which is the maximum amount that my fortress can currently hold with the bedrooms available. And then the third one is I have decided to upgrade my miners and woodcutter equipment. So every one of my miners should have steel picks. A problem that I encountered during that time is that I couldn't make my miners de-equip their picks, and neither could I have my woodcutters de-equip their axes. I tried going into their inventory essentially, clicking on their pick, and then saying something like, "Oh, melt that," or dump it, or forbid it. They just wouldn't drop it. So what I had to do to make them drop it is essentially make them not do the job miner anymore and not do woodcutter anymore. So now I'm just melting down all the picks and axes over and over again, and because I want to just be done with having the best axes that I can reasonably make is picks and axes, I'm just going to have my dwarves make steel picks over and over again until I have enough masterworks. And all the ones that aren't, I'm just going to melt over and over again, like I'm showing here, until I have about 10 steel picks masterworks. That way I'm going to have the best reasonable attainable picks for my miners. Yeah. And I'm doing something similar with axes. I just don't need as many masterwork axes. So yeah, those are like the 2 projects that I have done. One of them, I guess, is still ongoing. And then I also wanted to move my mayor and my duke to this floor. So I'm probably also going to do that at some point. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do the moving part now. That way that is out of the way. And then I should get to the military stuff. Yes. Okay, I am now re-recording this bit because I've just been rambling on and on in the last one. Essentially, I had a little problem that now that I am done with the mayor's residence, that it wouldn't go green. Like, these things wouldn't go green, which essentially means, and when you would read it, it would say you only have a meager throne room, you have only a meager bedroom, you only have a meager dining room. But down here, it had all the correct ones. And I already have like way better quality furniture, I have way better quality engravings, and way better quality doors and stuff, but it just wouldn't go up. So at some point I thought that the solution would be to resize it, like this, and then it did go green, but now when I put it back into what it was before, the wrong size, so to speak, it just stays green. So my current theory is that it wouldn't update the quality of the room for whatever reason until I resized it. God, that took way longer. Especially when you look down here, I created so much spare furniture because I was like, I have to get better furniture with better quality to make this whole thing like more expensive or something like that. But no, it just didn't update correctly. Or at least that's my current theory, I don't know. Okay, now I can finally go and make the Duke's place. And with that, now the Duke's residence is also done. I already assigned it to him and he is happy with it. Yeah. And I found another problem with Dwarf Fortress stockpiling. As you can see here, there are a lot of pigtail threads with like 1% left. If I click on them and say dump them, nothing happens. Now you might say maybe a dwarf is like, there's like no dwarf available, like all of them are doing jobs. But if I click on the 99%, it's like instantly there's someone coming, and now it's gone. Currently my thought process is that I'm just going to put them on the next trade caravan, and with that I might be able to sell all the 1%. And I'm just going to hope that that works. Seeing how many dwarves are like going all the way around here makes me happy that I waited until 80 pop. Maybe I should have even gone up to 160 pop to make it even faster. But I guess now I'm already committed to doing the military traps and stuff. So I guess I'm going to see how long this takes. I mean, we're only 20 years in game time right now. God, that's such a long time. I believe it is time for another update because the construction of the floors and the walls through the cage traps, the ballistic corridors, as well as the, I don't even know what to call it, I don't know, the shooty corridor, I don't know, there's probably a word for it. All of it has been lined with gabbro flooring and obsidian walls. I have also constructed the part where I'm going to have my ballistae, as well as the ballistae training area. And in a previous video, I have asked myself why I couldn't build ballistae parts at the carpenter. That's because there's a siege workshop. Totally forgot about it. That's where you build your different siege parts for the ballistae, for the bolt throwers, for the catapults, as well as construct the arrows for the ballista. But for that, you'd need one wooden log. And if you want to have it tipped with some metal, you have to go to a smith, to a forge, I guess. Yeah, a forge. Or a metalsmith, and make the arrowhead. So yeah, the next part for this part here, for the defenses, is actually constructing the ballistae. For that, how many ballistae am I going to make? 1, 2, 3, that's 2, that's 6, so 9. You need 3 ballistae parts, so that is 27. So let me make the ballista parts. I want 27 of those. Not adamantine ballista parts. Definitely not out of adamantine. I don't even have that yet. Ballista parts. They're the normal ones. I want to make them all out of the same materials, so tower caps, because I have the most out of them. I want 27 of those. Yeah, 3 times 3 times 3, that's 27. That way I can make my 3 training ones. And something new that I learned is that with the new update, the wiki at least says that the quality of the ballistae parts has no impact on how good the ballista works. I believe before it was a case that higher quality meant faster reload, but supposedly the wiki says that it is not supposed to have any impact right now. So that is also nice. I have also started on creating the first military squad. I have also, yeah, I've made a military squad. I have filled it with 10 dwarfs that have potential, and yeah, named them the Ageless Shields. I have also created a equipment uniform, Steel X armor, which essentially consists of, God, I wish you could change it in here, but it consists of a helm, high boots, mail shirt, breastplate, gauntlets, but what was the other one? Did I say greaves? Yeah, greaves and axe and shield, everything out of steel. Out of axe, yeah, sure. No, everything out of steel. I haven't equipped them yet. Like you can see, it's custom uniform. Everything right now is still no uniform because I haven't made enough of that armor type to equip them all. So yeah, I've also made sure to make it so that they're wearing it over their civilian clothing. I hope that works. I've had trouble with equipping my militaries before, What else have I done? Oh yeah, because I don't have the armor, I have started with work orders to essentially make axes, gauntlets, and high boots over and over again that I'm then smelting again. And something neat that I found out while making picks. So essentially, before I have made lots and lots of picks over and over again to get essentially masterwork picks. And what I realized at some point is that my steel stockpile went up, and that is because apparently not always the bars you make won't always come out the bars that you then melt out of it. So as an example, for gauntlets, you'd not gauntlets. Gauntlets is a bad example. Okay, let's take leggings for example. You'd put in 1 bar to make the complete legging, and you'd get 1.5 out of it. So you so let's say you make 3 leggings. It uses 3 bars to make these leggings, and in the end, the first legging you melt down gives you 1.5, so it gives you 1 back, and 0.5 is then in the memory of the smelter. Then the second one gives you 2 bars, because it has the 0.5 in it, adds 1.5 to it, and out comes 2. And then on the third one, it would save half again. And that way, it would multiply. And out of the stuff I'm equipping my dwarves with, out of the armor that I'm equipping my dwarves with, it is the axe, the gauntlets, and the high boots that have a higher return ratio. So I'm training my dwarves to be better weapon and armor smiths while making the ones that gain me stuff. And then in the end, when I have a higher level armor and weaponsmith, I let them make the ones that don't give me more bars back. That way I don't lose all my steel while making that. I might even gain. As funny as that sounds. Yeah. Yeah, then I think that's it for now. Yeah, next up is equipping my dwarves with armor and weapons at some point. Oh yeah, and I guess I got all my dwarves to train constantly. At least the 10, there are 10 in here, right? Yeah, the 10 dwarves in that squad. They're currently constantly training. Yeah, I guess I'm going to give you an update soon when I have constructed the ballistae and started with having my siege operators train. Okay, I have built my ballistae now, and I'm now producing the arrowheads, and I started making the ballista arrows. And I said, I'm pretty sure I said they are supposed to make... Okay, you know what? This is the Kogan guy. I have to check the Kogan guy. Thing is, I don't remember if I did steel arrows. I'm like 90% sure I said steel. Does it say in the work order, assemble tunnel tube ballista arrow? Okay, you know what? Since I still haven't made any of them yet, I'm just going to quickly do this. And then I'm saying here, steel ballista arrow, then assemble steel ballista arrow. And then I'm going to make them all uniform, which means tunnel tube, tower cap, I mean. Yeah, tower cap. Okay. So tower cap, and I want 30 of those because I make 30 arrowheads. And something else I found out is I'm pretty sure the ballista arrowheads have absolutely no, what do you call it? Quality attached to them. Ah, now he's taking the log away again. Damn. Yeah, like, I have been making the ballista arrowheads from literally only one dwarf, which is a... Let me check. Like, this is the only guy who has been making the arrowheads, and he is a professional weaponsmith. And the wiki says that ballista arrowheads are made by weaponsmiths. Like, that's the skill that is used. And I haven't seen it be any quality yet. And that is usually not the case with like armor and stuff. So yeah, my assumption is that the steel ballista arrowheads or arrowheads in ballista arrowheads in general don't have a quality. Yeah, I've forgotten these have been coming and killing each other. Yeah. Okay, another quick update. As you can see, the guy I have tasked with being the siege workshop guy, the siege engineer or whatever, he needs a tower cap ballista arrowhead for the work order I gave him of making the ballista arrows. Apparently, I have to say steel ballista arrow, and then I have to be happy with whatever wood is going to be used. Because if I go here and I then say some certain wood, it just becomes that kind of arrow. I don't know why. But that's apparently how it is. If I go in here and I say then tower cap, then I'm back to the tower cap ballista arrow, which is not what I want. Because then it's going to ask for tower cap ballista arrowheads. That's a mouthful. So now assemble steel ballista arrow. I don't even care what kind of logs you're going to use. You know what? I can make it use certain logs by making an extra stockpile of only, I think it was tower cap, right? That's like the one that I have so many of. Yeah, tower caps. Oops. I can link this one as in it should receive from this one. And it should have, where are they? Wood tower caps. And this one should only take from this one and this one. You know what? I can make this one right here smaller. I don't really mind. And this one right here bigger. Yeah, this should now do it. Because this guy here can only... Wait, this is... siege parts. There. Okay, I hope this is going to work. I'm just going to hope that this works, because now I have linked exactly two stockpiles to this, and the only things that are going to be in those stockpiles is the wood that that I wanted to use and the arrowheads I want to be used. Okay, I'm going to give you an update soon, I guess. He finally made steel ballista arrows. Oh my god. Where is it going to be taken? Please. It's supposed to be taken at some point. Is it going to get transported to the stockpile I made for it? Yeah. Ballista arrow. Tower cap, siege parts, okay. And I have also said that this one should be practice fire. That way now my siege operators should be able to train. Let's see. It's get loaded from the side. And there it is. Okay, so the restricted thing... I think I can just have it go like this. Then have all of these normal as well. I don't know. The cats are still going in. That can be really bad, because if a cat goes in the way, that cat is going to die. But yeah, I now have a siege practice range, and the arrows are getting picked up again. That is good. That is very, very, very good. Well, the arrows aren't the best. Most of them are just normal. But my operator will slowly become better. And I can make this here. Okay. That's good for me. I'm going to give you an update at some point. Again, that was just... I need a break from that. That was way too much. Yeah, that was like way too much for my head to get through all of that. I guess I can give you a small update on my metal workings, considering that is the next big step for my military. So at first I had only this one metal item stockpile where I would put everything metal in, everything made out of metal, but now I don't put masterworks or artifacts in here because I don't want to smelt down those. Everything else can be smelted, so I just smelt everything in here. Whatever I am buying from the caravan or that I'm just making that can be smelted down. But masterworks and artifacts come in here, which by now I don't have any artifacts, sadly, that could come in here. And from here on out, they get then distributed. They either stay there if they're not part of the stuff I need, or they're getting distributed to one of these 7 different... Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, these 7 different stockpiles, which are essentially helms, breastplates, mail shirts, which I haven't made yet, gauntlets, greaves, which I also haven't made yet, high boots, and axes, which are essentially what I want to equip my military with at some point. Yeah, and I want obviously all the masterworks, so I'm trying to get 10 steel axes, 20 steel boots, because you need 1 for each leg, obviously. Greaves, you always get a set of as an item, so only 10 of those. 10 right gauntlets, 10 left gauntlets, 10 mail shirts, 10 breastplates, and 10 steel helms, all of them masterwork. Yeah, and everything that is over will just be, yeah, just melted down or sold off. That is currently what I'm doing. And obviously for all of the metal working, that then gets smelted down into less. So essentially where you put in 1 steel bar and you get out, I don't know, 0.9 steel bars or maybe 0.5. All of those are getting made by the specialist, which is essentially the best armorsmith / weaponsmith I currently have. Yeah. And all the other ones also get made by the forges that don't have a specialized worker in here, and as such slowly gives me hopefully more steel bars instead of giving me less over time. Another quick update on my siege training. As you can see, it goes rather swimmingly, especially because I have a lot of people that always just bring the ballista arrows back to the stockpile from where they are being shot. And as you can see, I already have one legendary siege operator. I'm just going to take him off of the rotation. That way the rest gets more training. Yeah, slowly training them up. Okay, now I should have 10 masterworks of everything that I need. Obviously 10 right gauntlets, 10 left gauntlets, and 20 high boots, as I said before. So now I can go here, equipment, assign the uniform, steel X armor. Okay, and now they should be coming down here and equipping it, I believe. Ooh. Okay, do they... Oh, this guy still needs it. I mean, he just has to just equip it, right? Ah, here he's coming. What? Oh, now he's going for a drink. My god. Come on! Just finish equipping your equipment, please! Okay, now I should have all of them. Yeah. If I now go here and I say equip, then all of them have their stuff equipped. And now they can train with everything they have. Legendary Observer already, damn. I guess all the training does them very, very good. Fighter, Striker, and now they're finally getting extra of shield user and armor user as well. Yeah, they are going to get strong soon. Also, quickly checking on my siege operators, only one still has to get to legendary, and then I am going to have, I believe, 10 legendaries, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 legendary siege operators, and I have 6 ballistae here, and I'm probably going to put bolt throwers around here, and that should be good. Yeah. I have now stopped training my siege operators, mostly because I have 10 legendary siege operators now. I have also added a long path down to the bottom of the shooting lane paths, so that all the ballistae arrows can be picked up. I have also made a steel bridge here. Let's just pull the lever real quick so you can see. Here I can close it up, then I can open this one, and that way I can then get all the arrows again without having to essentially open up a way directly into my base. Essentially a shortcut for all the monsters. I have also added the... I think you call them the parapets? Is that true? Let me quickly Google it. Parapets. Nah. No, parapet is a low protective wall along the edge of a roof, bridge, or balcony. So it's not a parapet, but I essentially have added a small path along the corridor here, so I can put down what is then my next project, bolt throwers along here, which can then shoot down here once I have made... I guess I can already make the fortifications here. Yeah, and then just put down like 4 bolt throwers or something. That should be enough for a while. Also make a stockpile here. And then here is what I would call the arena. If at any point there comes an invasion and they get through the ballistae and through the bolt throwers, then I can just put down my very, very skilled X-Dwarfs. Like, all of them are now already legendary X-Dwarfs. They are very good at dodging and are very good shield users now as well, because they've been training for a while. I can just put them down here as the last defensive line. Also, I have started training a second group, which is now 20 dwarfs that are 20 dwarves which are in the military out of 80. That's pretty much the maximum that I can afford to give to the military. That also means I have started stockpiling armor again and weapons, just so that I can equip the second squad at some point. But until then, they can just learn striking, dodging, essentially become better wrestlers, just as they started out as like my first group. They are legendary wrestlers as well. Yeah. That is pretty much how it is going right now. I have now produced 4 bolt thrower parts, which I am now going to place down. For a bolt thrower, you need the bolt thrower parts, you need the mechanism, and you need a rope. And I guess you need a box. I didn't know about the box. As you can see, I just recently started the game again. That way, that's why I didn't have the keep building option after placement on. Here, this direction. Okay. I'm giving you an update after they were built. After they are going to be built, I guess. Okay, the bolt throwers have now been built, which means the next part I have to worry about is ammunition. For that, I have created a stockpile right next to it, which will have ammo, bolts, I guess. Well, from what I have read on the wiki, they use the regular bolts. So I'm just going to have all the bolts in here. They do use spins, okay. And then I obviously also have to, because I know that bolts can be stored down here, I should get them from here, here, I guess. What's this one again? Oh, that's metal bars. Okay, because the bolts would be produced here, the closest stockpiles are here, so they're probably going to be placed in one of these 3. Probably not this one. Yeah, so I can just remove. I'm just going to leave it in there, you know what? Yes. And now I have to make a work order for that. So steel bolts, 25 steel bolts. How many do I want to produce? Well, I want to produce, I don't know, Let's go first with 10, then I know if it counts the stacks or the actual bolts in the stacks. Because usually ammo comes in stacks as far as I have seen, I believe. If I go out here, yeah, here as you can see there are bolts, but I believe they're just single bolts. Usually they're like in stacks or something. I guess those are bolts that have been used by maybe the caravan or something that came by and then shot birds, thieving birds or something. But yeah, usually they don't come in these singles as here, but in stacks. I guess I'm going to see once an actual bolt has been produced. I'll give you an update in like a minute or two. You know what? I should change the plan a bit, because I don't want the bolts to be produced by just anyone. Like in here, I don't have an assigned worker, but in the two forges in the front, I have assigned workers. And as you can see, this worker here is my main smith, so to speak, where I usually go for making good armor. He's like a legendary armor smith by now and a great weaponsmith. So I'm just going in here and make a work order for the bolts specifically for this one. So only this one dwarf works on it. That way I will have the highest quality of bolts, and I'm pretty sure the quality of bolts is impacting the damage. I'm pretty sure about it, because everything else seems to be affected by it that does damage. Anyway, see you in a second or so. Okay, as you can see, bolts stack up to 25, I guess. I don't know if there are higher stacks, I just know they are created in 25 stacks, and here we have it. And if we now go to the 25 steel bolts and look in here. Okay, it is not yet in storage. Maybe I should wait for it to be in some kind of store. Okay, now it is in storage. Is it being transported again? No, it is not. So now it should be counted in here, and it says not. If I go to 25, obviously it is not, but at 26, okay, so it counts the single bolts. So now the question is, how many bolts do I want? I don't know, go for 500, I guess. 500 divided by 25, that is 4 times 5. God, math, that's 20 stacks? 20 stacks doesn't sound like a lot. Anyway, I'm just going to let it build up for now. As it looks like people are bringing in the bolts and they are loading them. Bolts loaded 50. I don't know how many can be loaded up. Definitely more than 50, and it's now at 75. I guess we're going to see how many bolts are getting loaded in here. You know what I just realized? The magazine on the bolt throwers, they have like different heights, and I'm pretty sure it's different depending on how many bolts are loaded. Like this one has 75 and it looks like this. And it should check. Yeah, you see? It added a bolt thrower on top of the magazine there when it went to 100. And it looks like it is full. So I guess 100 is when it is full. I mean, this one just has to be loaded once more, and if no one else is loading them, then it seems to be full. Okay. That's very good to know. Okay, considering that 400 of my 500 bolts would be loaded up at all times. I don't know if they are actually counted if they are already in here, but considering how many bolts are getting loaded into the bolt throwers, I just upped it to 2000 for now. 2000 bolts should be enough, maybe? I might up it again, I don't know. Now all the steel bolts have been produced. All my defenses are now active. Well, not active, but they are built. now the only thing that is left to do is test them. And I guess there are quite a few. Wait, are they all? No, okay, this one is in the first caravan layer. This one also the first caravan layer? I can never tell. No, that's the second one. Is it? No, that's also the first. There's this one. Okay, this is the second. And this is also the second? No, this is the first. Okay, there are lots of forgotten beasts around. And they are perfect test subjects. So I'm opening the straight path. Because I don't believe they can be caught by cage traps, but I might as well test it, you know. So activate the redirect, and I believe now this one should be up. Okay, now they have to go through here. And I guess I'm opening up cavern layer 3 first. Which one is that? Which one is which? I always forget. Okay, this is cavern layer 3, okay. I mean, it says cave 3, I should have... Yeah, okay. Let's just open this. And now we can wait for a forgotten beast. Oh no, I still have to activate... This was just messy. Okay. I have to close up this so the forgotten beast doesn't just go to the surface, because I wouldn't want that. Also, it's late summer, almost. Oh my god, no. Abort, abort. There's a caravan coming in like a bit. A short update again. While I was trading with the caravan, I realized I probably don't want to fire ammo that is not steel, so the only thing that is currently going to be in the stockpile is going to be steel bolts, nothing else. And obviously I bought all the steel bolts and lots of other stuff. Mostly steel from the caravan, because there's always a need for steel. Okay, the caravan is leaving now, so I can hopefully finally prepare. Oh wait, no, there's still like that one guy, that is the diplomacy guy, who's probably somewhere. I hope he's also leaving soon. In the meantime, I can just quickly prepare the military action I want to clear out forgotten beasts. So this steel bridge should obviously be open. Then they go here. I test out if they're getting trapped by the cage traps. They probably won't. Then they have to go through here. So I'm going to do fire at will here. Here as well. What else? Okay. No one seems to be leaving. So I'm guessing he already left. So I can pull this one closed again. I have also made a burrow, because if I don't and I open up essentially a cave, some stupid dwarf will decide they have to go and collect something here, whatever it is. So yeah, having the burrow with all 80 dwarfs assigned, and it is not suspended, that is also important. I should also get this one closed. Okay, now everything seems to be ready and I can open cave 3. And if I see any dwarf going down here when they aren't supposed to, I'm just going to close everything up again. That did not take long. We have here Vio Itiekani, the speckled subordinate. What is your description? An enormous quadruped composed of grime and filth. It has large mandibles and it squirms and fidgets. Beware its webs. Oh, it has webs. Oh, damn it. I really want to catch one of the web slingers because compared to cave spiders, these are pretty much immortal. Well, not immortal, but essentially ageless. They only die if killed, not by age. And I'm like 99% sure cage traps won't catch it. Anyway, I have to defend now, so get all of these at fire at will. These as well. And I haven't seen any dwarf be dumb enough to try and leave yet, so the burrow seems to be working. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Nope, cage traps aren't working. And... ah, damn it. I probably should have put them on here first. Has named his battle axe. I should probably get the dwarves to stand here. Just in case. Why are you not shooting? I said fire at will. Wait. Fire at enemies. Oh, okay, so you need an enemy. Okay, this is stand ready. This is keep loaded but not ready. What about practice fire? Oh, practice fire works. Let's watch this. What? No, I cannot watch it. Okay, then watch this one. Oh. It got hit. Okay. I'm still waiting on the other ones to arrive. Okay, now this one is here. Okay. So obviously I can get all of these now away. And I can keep this one here. Maybe I can follow this one with this. Does this work? Ooh. That was a nice shot. Vision lost, ability to stand lost. Okay, so now it is prone. That means Ballista cannot hit it anyway. But let's just give this one more shot. Does this even hit? Nope, it does not hit. There's nothing that hit it. Okay, just make everything as keep loaded. Are my dwarves ready? Yeah, they are ready down there. Though I am kind of scared of the webs. Okay, so these should start shooting at some point. Yeah, there. And mangled grime, so it's done. Okay. Just to be sure, let's get my dwarves to go here. Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay, I think I cleared out the first cavern with that. At least there's nothing else that is coming down here. That seems pretty good. Let me then quickly close up this one. And it is closed up. So now I can deactivate this. I can have my squad cancel their orders. And I can this. Okay. Just making sure that my course, no burial, no refuse hauling. Okay, good. So my kids don't, so the kids don't accidentally bring the cadaver down. Okay. And then I also have to open this one here. Come on, come on. And now this here will also get transported at some point. Yeah. Okay, then once I'm ready for the second showing, let's get you all. But I have to keep them loaded. Yep, everything is as keep loaded. 114 now, damn. I guess they're just loading in a whole stack, whatever they have. And then you can have, and then the limit is 100, but the full stack is still inserted, so to speak. So essentially, I had 14, 25, 25, 25. It had still space up to 100. It said load another stack. Then the stack that arrived was 25. So we're now over 100 bolts. Okay, this one can also be closed up now. And we can go to the second layer and say here. But you know what? I think this has been enough for this episode, and we're going to clear out the whole caverns in the next one. Because now we know the military defenses work.